This video transmission is dedicated to Guru Purnima. Is dedicated to the first Guru, Adi Gurus, and is gratitude to Siddha Parampara that is still living until now. It has survived throughout dark ages, through transmission, through conscious desire to preserve the seed of authentic knowledge and conscious evolution on earth. This transmission is for all those who have experienced yoga within themselves, who have been touched by the power of Parampara, and who have benefited, evolved, refined themselves, and are still going on through the process. Guru Purnima is celebrated in a special month where the vibrations on earth are at the highest point, or the purity is at the highest point. And so everyone can feel the transmission of all the enlightened beings, Siddha beings who have evolved out of this planet, but who are yet guiding the humanity behind the scenes, so to speak. And many times we expect a lot of action when we come to spirituality. We come with a lot of knowledge that doesn't allow us to actually perceive absorption, equanimity, yoga within ourselves. And our spirituality becomes a spirituality of projection. Yet if we are mature enough, if we are ready to let go of a lot of information that we have accumulated on the path, being on the quest for enlightenment, for liberation, we realize that there's nothing in the future. And in order to be able to actually be content in each moment of now, we are to refine our past. And when we experience activation, we consciously start evolving and refining ourselves, realizing all those transitory points within ourselves, within our being, within our body, in the form of reactions, emotions, disturbing waves, influences, negative influences that don't allow us to perceive self in an unconditional, equanimous way. And it would have been so simple, but yet whenever we try to meditate, we consider meditation as a certain action, as a certain effort. And we connect meditation with a desire or ambition to achieve something, to gain powers. Yet we don't understand how powerful is our unconditional being. So that's why spiritual practice becomes a tedious effort. but yet there is no clarity on the account of what has to be done. So, in fact, there is nothing to be done, because if one is truly activated and is willing to consciously evolve further and refine self and transform, everything happens spontaneously, involuntarily, without any ambition or desire. Life flows, we learn through life, we experience absorption, yoga within ourselves, and we start living through that yoga, through that absorption. We understand that samadhi or deep absorption is not an achievement, but is a natural way of being. Yet we try to refine through this tool. We try to integrate the equanimous being into action, into our everyday living and everyday life. So it's not about achieving something on the expense of the other. It's not about running into extremes. It's about integration. So yoga is about integration. It's about being and acting through that being and perceiving life through that being, and absorbed, content self. And be grateful to life and to that possibility that we are able to experience the awakening, refinement, and in some cases, complete transformation in one lifetime. And I would like to express my gratitude to all the beings which are guiding the humanity and offering us a gift to experience light within the darkness of this age, within the ignorance of this age. And no matter what kind of obstacles we may encounter on our path, that light and power of equanimous being, self, helps us to understand the root causes of those difficulties and obstacles and refine self through those difficulties and obstacles, no matter how difficult they may appear for our logical mind. So what we learn on this path is the power of surrender, the power of absorption within ourselves, where we learn to control, but again, not control effortlessly, but through our heightened awareness, we are able to become aware of all the disturbing waves within our space of self, and we are able to refine ourselves and to maintain our space in the equanimous way, where turbulent waves no longer disturb our being. May true knowledge be preserved through parampara, and this tradition be continued, because only through parampara, the power of direct transmission, true knowledge can be preserved, transmitted, experienced, the ultimate reality, and self on various subtler levels can be experienced and understood. And the purpose of this life can be understood. But once you realize self in an absorbed way through Samadhi Yoga, you no longer give meaning or purpose to anything, because the purpose is not understood by the logical mind. It's somewhere on the periphery as a being, a space, always there, awareness. So, no matter in which form the Guru may arrive, awareness and life, which is the glimpse of that in a manifested reality, is always there as our teacher, as our guide, as our Guru. And let's remember to be aware, to be conscious about our transitory aspects of self, and cultivate our inner being, the light essence of self, and integrate them so that we can have quality life and a chance to evolve through this body in a conscious way. Deeper surrender and trust in life are keys to happy living. There is no such a thing as happy living. There is content living. There is balanced living, where you are simply content, and you may experience it only when you experience yoga, awakening to that contentment, and you start living through it, cultivating it more and more, seeing all those transitory aspects that are not you, that are just waves, as waves arising and subsiding within your space. And you no longer want to entertain them. You no longer want to support them. You want to refine yourself. And that's why you start trusting life more and more. Because you understand that life is not against you. You're no longer a victim of life. But you trust life, for it shows you what is there yet to be refined. All that which is not truly you, but which is imbalanced, which goes into extremes, which creates false ambitions and produces all kinds of thoughts. But you are content, thoughtless, but intelligent being. And once you experience it through the activation, you know it. And through this being, you refine yourself, and you experience more and more surrender and trust in life. And surrender means that you consciously surrender all the transitory aspects, emotions, thoughts, disturbing waves within yourself. You surrender them into the equanimous space of self-being. And you realize eventually yourself more and more as a being, rather than associate yourself with any transitory aspect of self. So you refine self-identity and eventually realize what you are not and what you are. There's a complete being. There's a complete being without denying any transitory aspects of self, but realizing their transitory nature and dwelling on that which is the ultimate. May the blessings of all the higher realms of Siddha Parampara, of all the enlightened beings, guide you further, bless you, and help you to realize and cultivate the light within self and dispel all the darkness within self. May this be a new starting point in everyone's life, a conscious shifting point where we realize the simplicity, the equanimity, and blissful being of self. Thank you.